Somebody didn't silence their phone before we went live. Who could it be? Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have time to talk about that because we need you to subscribe. That's right, click that subscribe button and then click that little bell so that you will always know when this show is going live. I'm doing something. It's not quite as covert as I wanted it to be. Who am I? Well, I'm Bob Doyle, ladies and gentlemen. I host this program. That's why it has my name on it. If you are Twitter active, one of the things you can do throughout the course of your day is to just let people know that this is how you spent your time today and how you'll spend your time tomorrow and the day after that. And then when it's not those days, you'll be going back and looking at the replays of all these shows because you're discovering this and subscribing. And you're going, well, clearly this is stuff I need. And so I'm going to seek it out. And so you're going to spend the whole weekend looking at the playlist of the Bob Doyle Show. And you're going to see that there are hundreds of programs there. And you'll watch one and you'll go, looks like it doesn't really matter to me which one you start with. If you start with one, I don't know how long you're going to last. Let's check in. Thank God this acts like a mirror. Can you imagine? Did the whole broadcast with this big, thick mustache of foam. By the way, I'm going to say it again. If you've ever doubted that these things work to create foam, don't doubt it. Now, I've been through 3 brands. This is my 3rd brand. This one, I just got it yesterday, so I can't vouch for its longevity. I burn through these because I use them all the time. And the motor just dies after a while, so we'll see. This particular brand, which I'm not mentioning because you know what? They're not a sponsor. They could be. Hey, if you recognize your model sponsor, I will sell millions of these once I get millions of views. Thank you. Anyway, get them. They're great, okay? And then your milk doesn't get overly hot when you use the steam to do it, because how often does that happen? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen, where it's just hot steam and it's not foaming correctly, and so you end up steaming it for like a minute or more, and then now you've just got this scalding liquid that's mostly water and milk. No, you don't need to do that. Buy one of these little things. This was less than $9. So look, even if it lasted you a week, you get your money's worth, but it lasts me generally a month or so. Ooh, look, this is exciting. Cher retracted a message. Oh my God. The curiosity is absolutely killing me. What could she have said? Oh! Look, both of them were retracted. She said stuff twice, and she said, nope, not gonna do it. I don't know if she used those exact words. Now look, let's just address the elephant in the room. I'll let you all finish. And just answer the obvious question. Look, I don't know when I'm going to get my hair cut. Okay, I'm a little timid. I've had 2 haircuts here in Vegas. I haven't liked either one of them. So now I'm like, I don't know where to go. So I'm just never going to get it cut. It's just going to turn into like when I was in 9th grade. Cher can't type, she says. So I guess it was a typo thing. She didn't want people to see that she made an error. Cher. Mistakes, they're just part of life. You know, the more mistakes we make, the more it shows we're out there. We're doing it. We're giving it the college try. What are the naysayers doing? They're giving excuses. I can't comment on that show. I might make a mistake. What did you do, Cher? I'll tell you what you did. You made a comment. Now, After the fact, you had a little comment remorse. Perhaps a letter was transposed. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Something inside you said, no, I cannot let that imperfection be shared with the world. Well, let me tell you something, Cher. It is the imperfections that make us beautiful. You think about that. Because I'm going to, for at least 5 more seconds. And then I'm going to get back to the show, because we've got stuff to do. But I'm glad we had this time together. All right. You guys really, look, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but every single time, I don't know if that's necessary. Why don't you just enjoy the comfortable seats, right? I mean, we've got them there for you. We spared no expense whatsoever. All right, let's check back in over here before we start talking about stuff. Kathy and Sarah and Cher, now, see, she didn't, and don't retract that. And that's right. See, but see, it's the coaching. See, she got coached, and yet no one came to this show signing up for coaching, right? You just never know. And that's why you must subscribe and click the bell, even if you don't know why you're doing it. Look, sometimes life is just a series of these leaps of faith. And sure, entertainment is a big leap of faith. You don't know what's going on these days. People think they're so funny. What with their one-liners. But me, I don't know, you know. I'm just about showing up and opening my mouth and seeing what comes out, like right now. This is what's happening. Yikes. Maybe I should get back into what I was going to talk about. Because after all, this show is called Elephant Town. Oh, for God's sake. Thank you, Cher. Did click the bell. Says so right here. So that's living proof. I don't know what the alternative of that is. It's proof, right? If it's dead proof, which I don't know what that would even mean. But you say that, right? She's living proof. Okay, so she's living proof. So I guess it just means you're alive. All right, whatever. What am I talking about? Okay, so yesterday, I more or less adhered to my promise that I wasn't at all going to talk about this. But today, I'm probably gonna, starting right now. So I'm not going to get into the whole thing but you're just going to, there's a certain amount of catch up you're going to need to do on this Boundless Living Challenge conversation, because it's going to be it's just going to come up. It's just going to come up. Monday's show, I think I addressed it. That would give you an overall thing. Today, I just want to talk about sort of the progression towards this event. But basically what it is, guys, is it's an online event that we're, no, how do I say this? The Boundless Living Challenge will basically be an online, ongoing, monthly type of coaching sort of program. Okay, that's just the broad overview of it. But it's going to launch with us showing this DVD called The Boundless Living Challenge, which is a documentary made during the first one, which was done 10 years ago. Okay, enough history there. But in putting this together, I've been going back over the old files, literally, and finding, you know, whatever I can from 10 years ago that would help me make this happen in a pretty short amount of time. Because we want to do it no later than July 23rd, because that would be exactly 10 years after we did the first one. Although as I look through the research, the start date is it's questionable, but in the film it says July 23rd, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Okay, let's just do this just for grins, because I keep forgetting. So I'm finding all kinds of old videos and things like that, one of which I stumbled upon by accident yesterday and posted on YouTube, called Welcome to Section 2, Troubleshooting Chicken. If you'd like, you can watch that. I won't show it here, because I have another film to show you shortly. But there's a story around that too. There's just so many stories. Did you know it was story time? It is. So one of the things I found was this document that I don't know who typed this. I didn't do it. Someone submitted it to me at some point after the original challenge. And it was a summary of some of the people's results. And so I just thought I'd share a few lines of them. But this one I have to wait till last. Now, one of these, I'm going to go ahead and say her name because she's already chimed in response to one of my other videos and said that she wants to be a part of this online event where we're going to be talking to some of the people who did the challenge originally 10 years ago. How I went from, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, how I went from sitting on my butt to walking a half marathon in 45 days. And basically she said that before the challenge she'd spend much of her time sitting in front of the television, eating unhealthy foods, blah, blah, blah. And during the 45 days, she hired a trainer. She made healthy changes to her diet. She cut out her cigarette smoking, or cut it in half, went for acupuncture treatments and more self-care. By day 39, she completed a walking half marathon, and by day 45, had lost 22 pounds. So a weight or fitness goal was there. See, the whole idea with this is it doesn't matter the nature of the goal. It can be fitness, it can be professional, it can be relationship, it can be whatever it is that you're wanting to do. A guy named Gil entered the challenge on the verge of bankruptcy and in threat of defaulting on her mortgage and losing her home. And then she began the challenge determined to change her circumstances and turn her life around. And aside from improving her financial situation, she also landed a record deal. And it talks about that. So let's see. Here's another one that started a part-time business. An actor who attracted one of the top casting agents in New York. Tara had been grappling with pain and stigma from this past trauma in her life, and the Boundless Living Challenge was an opportunity for her to write a book about child abuse that she'd been thinking about for a long time. A whole new appreciation for herself, on and on and on. Alan Ray wanted this guy here. In addition to helping me through my challenge during this 45 days, he was also trying to complete a film of his own, which he did on day 45. He finished it on day 45. Health issues, an artist who let's see, she made a 45-day challenge centered around making time every day to draw or paint. How many of you creatives could deal with something like that, right? And so by the end of the challenge, she had 8 new paintings with a whole new artistic palette and ways to look at her artwork. She completed the challenge with a willingness to dream bigger than... Anyway, I found all these great things. And a reminder of these people. But wait, there is one in particular that I saved for last. And this is where the show's going to go off in an odd direction. So first of all, let's say hello to Tommy, who's come into the room. Okay, I see that Jeff Adams pointed share this way, so let's hear it for Jeff. You can stand, yes. A fellow live streamer on the BeLive platform. You can find him on... No, stop.
Everybody back again.
All right. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen for a minute or two. But hey, what are you going to do? It's live. It's live, guys. But I do get to blame Jeff Adams for being a distraction through share. He clearly planted share here to distract me, throw me off my game a little bit, so I have a little technical hiccup. Because, you know, they so rarely happen. Don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. Speaking of share. All right. So there's one person whose thing I didn't mention here, but now I've just spilled so many beans. So this gal, at least at the time of this challenge, her name is Rosita. She called herself Mama Luce. And when she first, I'm reading now. When she first heard about the Boundless Living Challenge, Mama Luce knew it was a big opportunity to step into her dreams of being an accomplished vocalist and performing artist. A huge fan of The Secret, she was excited to learn that the challenge founder and teacher from The Secret, Bob Doyle, see, I clearly didn't write this, not only lived in her native Atlanta, yet but his personal challenge was also about performing music, which we've discussed in some of these other things. So anyway, she reached out to me, She apparently a lifetime of health problems put them all aside, and her challenge was about creating a demo CD. But instead of a demo, by the way, by the end of it, she was well on her way to having a CD full of great songs, and she realized her dream of singing live with Bob Doyle, which she did at the open mic. And I mentioned the other day, this is too much of a side story. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. I mentioned the other day that when I was going through videos, old videos, I found one where it was the morning after I did an open mic to kind of get used to just the idea of playing anything with people. And one of the participants was her, and I had said that there was somebody there who sang, well, okay, time out. In this video that I saw, I was recapping the fact that this gal had written a song to thank me for doing the challenge in the first place, and it was very emotional and all that. It was emotional for me to watch the video because I had forgotten about that. Just to give you an idea of who this person is. Extraordinary individual. She was up to all sorts of things when last I saw her, and it talked about a little bit on what I just gave you a peek at here. So again, as I go through all of this stuff, and I'm remembering who was a part of it and all of that, so one of the things about her was that, like I said, she's a musician and she does some pretty avant-garde stuff, or at least she did back then. Now again, this was 10 years ago, important to the story. So I haven't seen her or heard from her since then. To this moment, I have not. It's been a really long time. I think we may have touched base sometime in, I don't know, a couple of years after the challenge. I really don't remember. But during that time, there was, totally unrelated, this little 3-year-old girl had posted a video on YouTube. I'm sure she didn't post it. Her family did. That would make a lot more sense. And she's playing the ukulele. And when I say playing the ukulele, she had her finger on a fret and she was strumming it. And she was singing Elephant Town over and over and over again. Hold on a second. But now, when you go to that page, this is what you see. This is heartbreaking to me because I had prepared this whole idea for the show before I realized, oh my God, the original's not even there anymore. So I don't know whether it was just, one day they were just like, you know what, this is getting out of hand. Because what happened was musicians from all around the world started doing tributes to her. And there, you can find on YouTube, if you just do a search for Elephant Town Tia or Elephant Town Ukulele, you're going to find playlists filled with people doing this song with their version. So Rosita came over one day and we did what I'm about to show you. But here's the thing. So I found this and I said, oh, I'm going to show this on the show and it's going to be fun. But then it was like, I'd really like to be able to find her, reach out and say, I'm doing this. It'd be great to, where are you? So and she hasn't been easy to find, but I finally found her under a slightly modified name on Facebook. And I did reach out to her, but I haven't heard. It was just literally like a half hour ago. And there's not much going on her Facebook page. And I'll share with you that the last post was from March. I know this, I'm telling her all the business, but this is all on Facebook. And there are 4 pictures, only 4 photos, and one of them is her with me. Okay? So anyway, I've reached out. But here's the thing. So it's been 10 years, and there's a few pictures of her, I guess, that are certainly more recent, and I'm realizing, oh my God, she's a totally different person now. I mean, I shouldn't say that blanket because I don't know what she's up to. Let me say this. She occurs as a totally different person. Like the energy of her photos is different. It's just different. And she's promoting the fact more that she's a teacher and all of this other stuff. And I'm going, oh my God, I wonder if I should show this, because it's like, well, maybe she'd have a problem with it. Maybe that's like, maybe that's not cool. But then so the reason I'm going to show it is 2 things. One is, if she ever comes out and says, please take that down, I will. That's the beauty of YouTube. I can just edit that sucker right out. But also, she still got it up on her YouTube channel. And, so... And I know she's still a proponent for being fully self-expressive. So I'm going to show this. just because it's fun and because it was something for me to do today. So let's go back to it here. My friend Rosita Fitch, also known as Mama Luce, you need to check out her work. She's got an incredible fundraiser thing happening for kids. It's called lucelearning.com. Yes, L-U-Z learning.com. Check it out. Right now she's here to join me for my second tribute to Tia and her wonderful contribution to the world of ukulele music. I should add, this is, although Rosita is a musician, this is her first time with you. So, what better way to start? Are we ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town,
Elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town.
And that's it. Now, I told that story very poorly because it's very important for you to know how she actually played it for any of that to make sense. And therefore, you got to enjoy it for just what it was, which maybe that's good, right? Just the pure art of it. But that's not what happened originally. The original, she had her finger on the 4th fret of the 1st string. This is, somebody actually did compute exactly what this chord is. So, I mean, one of these videos on YouTube, I mean, some people went full-on extreme, like teaching tutorials for what I'm about to show you. But basically, she just went like this, and she was 3 years old, and she's just screaming, progressively screaming, elephant town, elephant town, elephant town, and she's screaming, and then at the end she goes, that's it, and that's the video. Okay, so everybody who did that, you know, basically had that basic pattern, you know, some sort of escalation up to screaming and then saying, and that's it. So I'm so bummed that we couldn't share the original one with her and with you. Boy, I was young too, wasn't I? That was so yeah. This video actually I think was more 8 or 9 years ago. 9. It had to have been 9. I don't know. Anyway, the inlays on this one here. This is my Kala Acacia tenor, which I have allowed humidity to destroy, or lack of humidity, to destroy over the years. There's a big slit right down here. Heartbreaking. Okay, wait a minute. Bruno's getting a laugh. The song is so psychedelic, like you're on mushrooms. Well, that's funny you should say that, because I thought what I need to do is do it again. But this time I'm going to do the hard-tuned echoes, and so I don't know what it's going to do. And I'm going to, of course, do it a little differently. But I got to honor the chord. Elephant town, elephant town, elephant town. And that's it. You know, there was a time in my life when I would have gotten bunched up about doing that. But you know why I don't? Well, it's thanks in no small part to my work with the Boundless Living Challenge. Something we're bringing back, ladies and gentlemen. So, I've already said that. So guess what? So this morning I was realizing, you know what? I don't know if I have the balance. I know I don't have the BoundlessLivingChallenge.com anymore. I let that go forever ago, and I know that at some point somebody grabbed it and then they wanted to try and sell it back to me. I said, no, I'm done with that. That was years ago. I said years ago, and now here I am, right back to it again, and there it was available. So I just snatched it right up. So that means, of course, there'll be some sort of a webpage about it, I guess, soon. This needs to happen pretty quick, ladies and germs. And again, like I said on Monday, back then, and again, as I'm going through these documents, I'm finding more and more about, oh yeah, we did a lot to promote this, and a lot of money was spent too. I had forgotten about the expense of this challenge for me, because not only did I facilitate the challenge, market it, pay for all kinds of ridiculous advertising and PR, but also I paid Bill and Alan to coach me, and I paid them well, and then had to rent out the Long Performing Center of the Arts in Austin to do my thing. I mean, I did my challenge big, because we all thought, well, but it's we'll sell a bunch of tickets and people will enroll for your program and all this stuff. That was the other thing that I realized as I go through this. Oh yeah, this was going to be in conjunction with rolling out a new version of my Wealth Beyond Reason program. And there's all these webinars. I mean, there's a lot of marketing stuff around this, which I'd completely forgotten about, because my memory of it is not that at all. It's all about the experience, because that's what quickly happened. Once we got rolling with it, all of this planning and the marketing and how it was going to roll out, it changed everything, because by the end of the challenge, quite honestly, people didn't need the freaking program anymore. I mean, it was like we're at the end of it. I'm going, now what are they going to learn from Wealth Beyond Reason that they haven't fully experienced now in this 45-day challenge? For free, I might add, back then. So again, as a marketing endeavor, as a business move, it wasn't at all what we had anticipated. But in terms of impact, and I guess significance, if you want to say, obviously, I'm much happier with the way that it turned out. So now, hopefully this time it'll be the best of both worlds, right? Okay. So what do we got here? We got some conversation going on. Elephant Town in India, okay. I can say that Elephant Town could be a good trance track. Yeah, it could be. Go big or go home. Like Bernard Church, got it. Magic Mushrooms. Okay, we got a big. We've got a major. We have a major theme going on. What is this? I don't know what this sounds like exactly. I'm trying to do something that's,
Deep tune. There we go. So for those of you who are doing psychedelics while watching the Bob Doyle show, I don't advise it. We don't have an official warning or anything. But some of the imagery here could be disturbing from time to time. And we do not recommend being under the influence of hallucinogens during this time, because we can't be held responsible for the things you see and how it affects your,
You're everything. Seriously, guys. I mean, I love you. I love each and every one of you. But the constant standing. But you are getting a good leg work. So, you got that going. Well, I timed this out just about right. As if I have ever timed anything out. Who am I kidding? Not you. Folks, I don't know what we accomplished today. We spent 30 minutes together. That's important. Right? Okay, maybe important isn't the right word. But we did it, and what are you going to do now? You can't get those 30 minutes back. But you can relive them. The power of replays and playlists. So first do this, and then go watch everything we've ever done. It's the